Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Music Scrap, the musical scrapper. And it is a beautiful. Wait a minute, on my part one, I think I said Monday. It's Thursday, isn't it? Gosh, I said it's a beautiful Monday, and it's not. It's a beautiful Thursday, so please ignore that on part one. Nobody even corrected me. A beautiful Thursday here on Eastern Mars. Very warm, but at least the humidity has broken for a couple of days. So in Nanajumo, November 2013, I decided to start doing the journal prompts from Nanajumo. I didn't get to the end of the month, but anyway, I did some. I did not like the songs that she was prompting from. Didn't know most of them, so I just did my own songs. So her first prompt was Let It Be. I assumed it was Let It Be by the Beatles, but it was some weird Let It Be. Anyway, I did the Beatles' Let It Be. These are the times. This is the only one I did do that was her prompt. These are the times they are a-changin'. Did some jelly printing, some stenciling. And then this is Bring On Tomorrow. So this was my first ever acrylic landscape. Bring On Tomorrow, which is in the finale of the Broadway musical Fame. And yes, I made the journal. This is jelly printed fabric on the cover. And I like landscapes, so that's why I made it this way. Then this one I did like a collage version. So it's Our Last Summer by ABBA. So found some Paris things. I know, Sophia, really. My first ever face that looks like a really manly girl. Her eyes aren't quite low enough. She's pretty. She's a little too long from ear to here, but anyway. So She's Got Away by Billy Joel. She certainly got away. Jelly printed background, and then I gessoed to draw her. Her eyes are a little close together too. Not a very pretty woman, let me tell you. So Goodbye Yellow Brick Road by Elton John. There's the yellow brick road, and then I kind of blew it up. Oh, really cool. Very funny, Sophia. Sophia said they were out for a drive for no reason the other day and happened across Abbey Road, and her hubby drove down to the zebra crossing to show the kids, and we were saying, you will know which one it is because of the tourists, and lo and behold, a ridiculous amount of people on both sides of the road, and Abbey Road's literally just a residential street, nowhere in particular. You're wrangling babies. Okay, Sophia. And this next page is still one of my favorites that I've done. The song is by Christina Aguilera from the Milan, I believe. What's the name of the movie? Milan? When will my reflection show? When will my reflection show who I am inside? inside. See, I still have no voice. I can't sing yet. Alright, so there's the kitty. Kitty looking in the mirror. I love this color combination. The purple, teal with the orange and yellow. Love it. And the good old gospel folk song, will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by. Will the circle... There's... Anyway, so will the circle be unbroken? And I just have like the mom, the dad, and the little girl as the family circle kind of thing was my thought on that. Thanks, Kimberly. Thanks, Dot. And then this is one of my other favorite pages. Dee Dee helped me with this, with the sun, even though my poor son's lopsided, the poor thing. But originally I had him, and I had a cloud around him so that it was kind of like, I was thinking kind of a thought bubble to think of our veterans, right? But then the cloud looked stupid. So I was like, how am I going to fix it? And then I think it was Dee Dee suggested putting a sun instead of the cloud. And this song is by Canadian artist Terry Kelly. And he wrote it and performed it specifically for Remembrance Day, which is November 11th, of course, here in Canada. And it's talking about, it's called A Pittance of Time. And I will tweet a link to it, because if you've never listened to it, it is an amazing song. And it just talks about, hello people, can you not take 2 minutes of time to just stop and respect these people that have fought and died, and or fought and came back damaged, whichever, for our freedom, for our right? Can we not give them 2 minutes, one day a year of respect? And so the video is very good, and the song is amazing. So it says, in peace may they rest, lest we forget why they died. Take a pittance of time. Thanks, Dee Dee. I'm very proud of my book. Then this one is Somebody's Eyes from the Broadway musical Flashdance. Or no, not Flashdance. Footloose. Footloose. Well, it was in the movie too. Somebody's eyes are watching. Somebody's eyes. So that's somebody's eyes. And then we have Take Me Home, Country Roads, My Poor Sad Little Trees. I've done a lot. I've come a long way in making trees, let me tell you. These poor sad little trees. So Country Roads, Take Me Home. Love John Denver. I used to sing a few of his songs when I would sing in public. So we put the round glasses on the sun to be John Denver. This is the final number from the musical oh my gosh, it's Bohemian. It's based on the opera La Boheme. The updated version. What the heck? 525,600 minutes. 525,000 stories told. The musical is Rent. Sorry. Yeah, the musical's Rent. Based on the movie La Boheme. Now, the opera La Boheme is about consumption, is about tuberculosis. All right, and the struggle of people trying to survive tuberculosis. Well, what Rent did is it updated it, put it in New York City, and in the gay community with their struggle with AIDS. But it's loosely based on the opera La Boheme. Yeah. Thanks, Meg. Oh, hi, Maggie. Nice to see you. Oh, man, my brain's on slow motion today. So this is Love Potion number 9. Love Potion number 9. I just went through and I found songs. So this is supposed to be like strange bubbles coming from the Love Potion. And then the number 9. And all kind of funky background. This is a song, Light the Fire Within, sung by Celine Dion for the, I can't even remember which Olympics. I think it might have even been the 1988, no, it wasn't the 88 Olympics in Calgary. It was the Olympics down in Atlanta, I believe, actually. I'll have to look it up. So this is a mother, it's 2 guys and a girl, but light the fire within, so it's just kind of the podium for the Olympics, but I did the orange background to it, because it's not just about winning the song, it's about doing what you aspire to do what makes you happy, and work hard to accomplish. Oh, and I know Eileen's going to make a comment about this page, because I was trying, oh, see my brain. I was trying transfers, and my poor candle didn't work out looking very well. I did fix it sort of by adding the smoke instead of the flame. It was really weird looking when I had the flame on it. But anyway. Okay, like a candle in the wind. And of course, Elton John, originally about Marilyn Monroe. And then he changed the words, Goodbye England's Rose, for Diana for her funeral. Elton John's my favorite male performer. The Rose with Janis Joplin. Was trying another transfer. Did some jelly printing. And have the just remember in the winter, far beneath the winter's snow, lies the seed that with the sun's love in the spring becomes a rose. And Bette Midler's, I think, my favorite female performer. I saw Bette Midler live one year, and I saw Elton John live up in Toronto when I was living up there at the Canadian National Exhibition. Oh, absolutely amazing concerts, both of them. So this God is watching us from a distance. From a distance is the song. This is the sun, the earth, some other planets. Oh, that says, is chat working? My fingers were off by a key or two. Just making sure. No worries. So this is Butterfly Kisses. I can't remember who sings that one. I can hear her voice in my head, but I cannot remember for the life of me who sings Butterfly Kisses. It's a gorgeous song. I don't think it's Sarah McLachlan. No, it's not Sarah McLachlan. So... And Under the Boardwalk, I never did go back and fix my steps. The steps are on a wrong angle. My lines are on the wrong angle, so I can paint that out and fix it, but anyway, whatever. Other than that, I like this, how this turned out. I got paint from another page there somewhere. And then this is my mom and dad, and lyrics from a song, I'm Who I Am Because I Met You. Obviously when I was born, but yeah, it's my mom and dad. Hey T3, I'm just doing journal flips here because I finished binding my book. So, and then this was the last one I did, 12th or 17th, whatever. I did do, okay. Oops, sorry, lost the page. My coat of many colors. And, of course, after I did it, I realized I should have had another piece back here for the back of the coat. But anyway. Excuse me. Dolly Parton, of course. Well, Coal Miner's Daughter. What's her name? Coal Miner's Daughter did it first, but Dolly Parton wrote it. So that's my first art journal. Then 2014 I didn't do 2014 I did not do NaNoJumo, but 2015 I started doing it. So this was just 2 Mary Maxim catalogs. Oh no, they're all sticking together. Uh-oh. I haven't tried this. I haven't gone through this in a while. So it's 2 Mary Maxim catalogs, and I put a Craftex cover on it. Yeah, Dolly wrote and sang it, but Loretta Lynn also sang it at one time too. But yeah, Dolly wrote and sang it. All right, so this year it wasn't song titles. This year it was different prompts. So the first prompt was, hello, my name is, and of course Sassy Pants, Musical Scrapper, Miss Pitts, because that's what my kids called me, Jean Pitso, that was my nickname in university. Camo Magoo is Joyce's name for me, Music Scrap. Weehini is a name that Judy gave me. So that's all my names. All right, the second prompt was just a picture of a rose. Okay, and so then I found this quote. A single rose can be my garden, a single friend my world. By Leo Buscaglia. And of course I had to add, because my world didn't have Australia, wasn't showing, so I had to add Australia, draw that and add it in. And this one, the prompt was, I'm really not. That was the prompt. I'm really not. And then I put quiet anymore. Because when I was in school, I was very quiet. I didn't speak out. I answered questions by putting my hand up. I was a real rule follower. I wasn't a really talkative person. And yeah, I'm not that way anymore. I changed in university. I was changed a lot. I had a lot of really close friends at university, being in the music program. We were a small, tight-knit group of people. I didn't have classes of 400 and 500 people like some people at Dalhousie had, because I was in the music program. The first year there was 35 of us in our class. The second year there was 20. Year 3 and 4 there was 8 of us or 9 of us in the class. So we were very tight, a tight, close group, and we had some friends from the other years, previous years, and the years after us as well. But one of those friends was from Newfoundland, and Ronaldo is just an amazing person. And yeah, she taught me how to be me and be loud, and not loud on purpose, but be me. Yeah, I know, right, T3? So, and this is one of my star stencils that I designed. Shoot for the moon, and if you miss, you will still be among the stars, by Les Brown. I can't remember what the prompt was for that one. Must have been moon and stars or something. I can't remember. The prompt on this one was, what did you say? So I've got some Japanese paper there, and there's other Japanese paper underneath showing through, and that Japanese newspaper. So it's just kind of how some people talk and they talk for just the sake of talking, and they're not really saying anything. So that it's kind of like hearing Japanese. It doesn't make any sense to you. That was what I was kind of portraying here. Dee Dee's probably working busily in her studio. And this prompt was a scribble. So I just did some, I really like this. I think it's kind of cool. It's very abstract for me, extremely abstract, but I love the colors. I mean, my favorite colors are green, terracotta, and brown. So I have those colors in here along with a little yellow. But I think it's kind of cool. And I just stamped some trees on tissue paper and collaged them on. Thanks, Piccola. Welcome, welcome. Oh, yes. And this prompt for this day was just a picture. Sometimes it was just a picture prompt. It was a picture of 3 little houses. Sketched houses. And the minute I saw that, I thought of the 3 little pigs. So, Who's Afraid of the Big Bad Wolf was this one. Straw, Sticks, and Bricks. Alright, bye, Jillian. See you later. Yeah, I've got to eat at some point, too. Very soon. I need to eat very soon. I had yummy French toast for brunch. Okay. So this I did on black cardstock. Just Doodle was the prompt. So I just got out some black cardstock And my, what did I use? Oh, my Diane Reevely paints? No. I can't remember. I can't even remember what paints I used. Anyway. I think that was the last one I did. Oh, no. Yuck. This one was to do an ink splot, to splat paint down, slop paint down, and then make it into something. So I ended up with a dinosaur with chicken legs and some kind of weird puffin. And anyway, I think, was that the last one? Yeah, that was the last. That's the last one I did. See, it's a Mary Maxim catalogs. So that was my second journal. But actually, in the meantime, I started. I had to move my water. This is the journal that was falling apart on me, that I used all the extra pages. See, the pages are all falling out the minute I started getting it wet, so. That's Paula's black technique, black gesso technique. Anyway. So then, somewhere in between those years, Patty sent me, oh, look at that stuff still from my yard sale. Patty sent me a Delusions journal. So Patty was kind to send me this, so of course I had to paint it with my favorite PBO paints. So this was a day. Oh, hold on. I need to zoom out a little bit. This book is bigger. Oops. Oh, wrong way. So this was a very bad day. I don't know why I was sad. I have no idea why I was. It was one of the times when I was back to work and it wasn't going well and whatever. So it's like I feel like I'm falling to pieces. So I've got some puzzle pieces stamped here. And then this was based on a life book lesson. And I just kind of did it with different paints and the different styles. The quote is, "Sweet April showers do spring May flowers." See, they spring. Anyway. So most of my pages, when I do my journal pages and I'm not following prompts, I either have been inspired by, first of all, I find I have to start with a blank page. I'm not one, like you'll see, we'll come across pages here where I've painted on leftover paint on the pages and I cannot seem to use those pages. I like to start with a white page, with a blank page. I'm inspired by either a song or the song lyrics or a quote. Yeah, it's cool, isn't it? Then this one I was playing with transfers to see if I could do transfers with my inkjet printer. And they turned out okay. Not as good as if you have a laser printer, but these are inkjet transfers. This is a little guy reading a book. And this is my stencil, my brick wall stencil. Let us remember, one book, one pen, one child, and one teacher can change the world. Malala Yousafzai. That's the young girl who was shot in the face because she wanted to go to school. See, this is where I put on some leftover paint on this page and a book page, and I've never gone back to fill it in because I have no idea what I would put on it. It would make a good undersea one for Xandra to do because it's nice watercolor. This is another one where I use leftover paint with some stencils. And I've never gone back to finish it because I like to start with white pages. I mean, I guess I could have gessoed over these, but anyway, whatever. So I just left them. This was just using some leftover paint for the stencil that I designed for the first Maryland art retreat weekend. This was at Christmas time. Believe, because believing is seeing. So this is actually a stained glass form that I cut out on my Cameo. I printed one off as well, painted these things, and then I layered the black cutout over the one that I painted. And then I just drew on the ledge and just tried to make it look like an old stucco church. There's another page that I had leftover paint. So at Maryland, we were practicing. Paula was showing us packing tape transfers. So these were my packing tape transfers that I practiced with hers. So I just stuck them on that page. So there's a story behind this one. I'll show you this first because I was trying to do this page and I got this far without the words, and then I went and added some green blue PBO, or else blue-green PBO, and I didn't like it at all because it's translucent and too much of the orange showed through, and I didn't like it. So I was like, how can you can see some of it's the green-blue. You can see it's a little bit flashed out, but you can see a little bit of the green down there. I didn't like it at all. So I was like, oh, I've got to cover it up. What am I going to do? And then someone mentioned black gesso. So I was like, okay. So I just wiped on some black gesso. And then Sunset Carol was there, and she's like, oh, Jean, it looks like a blackboard. So I was like, oh, cool. I'll make it into a blackboard. So I found this image of a teacher, a vintage teacher, at the blackboard. I used my Pitt pen in white and smudged it so it looked like chalk, because if you want it to look like chalk, it can't be like clear, right? So, and then Carol gave me this quote, dream in 3/4 time and you can waltz through life. Do 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 do. That's 3 notes from that song. Yep, that's right. Live, sing, dance. So the quote I was trying to do that day, this was after that first Paris incident. Way back in, did I even date this one? That's strange because I almost always date my pages. Did I date this one? Oh, no, I didn't. That's weird because I almost always date my pages. Anyway, it says, a choir is made up of many voices, including yours and mine. If one by one all go silent, then all that will be left are the soloists. Don't let a loud few determine the nature of the sound. It makes for poor harmony and diminishes the song. And that's by Vera Nazarian. Love that quote. It's obviously it pertains to music, but it just pertains to life. If you don't have your say, if you don't put your voice out there, then the ones who are loud, the ones who do say something, are the ones who are going to make the policy. So it doesn't necessarily mean you have to talk about things or speak, but you have to act, kind of thing, right? So this was another page. I had some leftover paints and leftover paint on stencils, so I was just using them up. But yeah, I'm never going to finish that page. Here's a drive-in that I did. I actually cut out the picture. Meant to put cars in it, but I never did. Summer nights. Summer nights. Another page where I just stamped off some leftover paint. Oh, actually, I was testing my scratch board that I did in Maryland. I was testing my scratch board that I did. And then this I did while I was in Maryland. One of the days, the day we did the shopping on the Saturday, I didn't go back out in the evening because I didn't have any money left to spend, first of all, and they were going to do a little more walking from one place to the other, and I just, there was no point in me going. I didn't have any money, so I stayed back with a few others, and I did this page. And this is actually the background, the bright background, is a napkin. And then I just did the stencil with some black gesso over top. So the quote, color is a power which directly influences the soul. Kandinsky. But I can't, Azure. I don't know. I just have nothing to put on those pages. They don't inspire me at all. I just had some black gesso left. I'll probably just, Oh, now this next one has a good story. Oh, my poor... I guess I should have... Oh, darn it! I might have to put some varnish on this instead of just matte medium. I did put matte medium over it, but maybe varnish would work better with this plastic to seal the plastic in. On the way home from Maryland, when I was in Maryland at Queen's Ink, I bought my first jars of Dylusions paint. Well, the only one I opened while I was down there was my green, and it wasn't sealed. The cover wasn't turned on tight, so when I took off I was taking the plastic off that kind of seals the cover. Whenever I took it off, I was holding the top only, and because it wasn't screwed on tight, the bottom fell off once I released the plastic, and the paint I lost half the jar of paint. Well, anyway, luckily I had brought some. I knew that was one of my plans, was to buy some some of the Delusions paint. My money was set aside for that. And I had brought baggies with me to put them in, of course, on the way home. Well, when I got home, the baggie that had my Delusions paint in it, the paint had all leaked on the flight home. So this is actually, you can see, I'm going to have to re-glue this. This is the baggie that had my Delusions paint in it. I glued it down to a painted background, but some of the, actually it's kind of cool if I took this off, because what's happened is the paint that was on the plastic bag has now, this paint was all on the plastic bag, because I just painted a plain blue background, and this paint was all on the plastic bag. I might take this off, because that's kind of cool. Anyway, under pressure, because the pressure on the plane made those jars all leak. Do a stream where you challenge me to finish with help from the fibs. Oh, Dot, I don't know. I'll think about that. If I don't glue them all shut first. Then this one, the quote is, August is like the Sunday of summer. It's just some wine. These are napkins. So I just collaged the napkin on. This is from a napkin and this is from a napkin. And then I just stenciled the flowers. I'll think about it. I love this page. This is, of course, one of the cathedral stencils by Stencil Girl. I won the set of 4 cathedral stencils. And so I stenciled it on. So I stenciled, and then I went back and through another stencil added colored textured paste. So this is all texture paste that I put through a second stencil into each section of the stencil. On this row, and this row, and this row, but I didn't do it on this one. To draw, you must close your eyes and sing. Pablo Picasso. And then Vicky L. Oh, and today is Vicky's birthday. Happy birthday in heaven, Vicky. Vicky L. was with us in Maryland the first year, and she passed away a month later. So this is the page I did for Vicky. In memory of Vicky, you will never be forgotten. There's a picture of her from Maryland. Let's see if I can. And another one of the cathedral stencils that I just flipped and did twice. This one, I was trying to do Paula's black gesso technique, but I was doing it wrong. So it didn't work. So I ended up with these white bubbles on the page. And somehow I skipped that one by mistake. Still trying to do Paula's technique, and it wasn't working because I was doing the steps backwards. And then I finally did it right, and it worked. So if you go looking through Paula's YouTube channel, and if you want to see the black gesso technique, she's done it a couple of different streams. So I close my eyes to old ends and open my heart to new beginnings. By Nick Frederickson. This is a map stencil. No worries, Sophia. Aren't those colors vibrant? Ugh. I love that color combination. Red, orange, and it's Cad Yellow Deep, I think. But it's kind of transparent, so it really glows with the orange and the red. Oh, it would be azure, but it's so heavy it would cost a fortune. This is some leftover paint from stencils. More leftover paint from stencils. So this one, Castle in a Cloud, of course, this was the 15th of February, 2016. So a year and a half ago. Crying is not allowed, not in my castle on a cloud. So this girl I colored from, must have been from a Dover, one of the free Dover coloring, or I found it online or something anyway. So it was a coloring page, so I colored her and then I glued her onto the cloud. And then I have her dreaming of living in a castle. That's, of course, from Les Miserables. This is one page. This is a coloring page. So this is from one of my coloring books. So then I painted the background. This is the blue-black. You can see when it's a certain way, it's black. And when the light hits it, it's blue. It's like a very shimmery Payne's gray almost. And so I added a coloring book page, and then I just extended the sun's rays on this side, and it says, "Be someone's sunshine today." Bye, Dee Dee. Thanks for coming. This is a coloring book page. So I just put that cup of tea at a window and added some white. I really like this page. Really, really like. I love that white stenciling that I did around the edge. Oh, that sounds neat, Sophia. Combining the cool and the hot, warm colors. Yeah. This was on St. Patrick's Day. The meeting of preparation with opportunity generates the offspring we call luck. And this is the yellow-green PBO and the blue-green PBO. I love that color combination. And then, of course, the purple makes it pop. Oh, and I just did I was trying to make something work and it didn't work at all, so I just kept going. And because I was trying to do gold stars and it just wouldn't work at all. So I just moved on and then finished this one. There are stars in our eyes. Oh, this page, I love this page. Love love it. And I still love it. This is some Canadian actor that I got out of a magazine. I can't even remember his name. But I wanted to practice gel transfers using a magazine image. And so what I did was, these are Dylusions paints. Look how yummy and bright they are. So they're Dylusions paints. So I just painted on the Dylusions paints in stripes. And then I put him on. And then then I was like, well, what am I going to do? So I have these really cool they're alpha masks. Okay, so they're alpha masks, and they have a little sticky on the back of them. So I just put "come together," and these hands are reaching for, like, because he's a star, is like, ah. I wasn't really thinking of the song "Come Together" by the Beatles, but anyway, it kind of looks that way. But it was just like, they're all cheering because they see him wherever. And then I've got the ones that look like bubbles, painted those on. But it's so nice. The black against the over top of the Dylusions. Very yummy. Yeah, there's nothing there but leftover paint. Some, there's way more to see. I did a transfer. Oh, this was when the whole rigmarole was going on with changing the Canadian national anthem. True patriot love in all thy sons command. This one person, this one member of parliament, and I mean, granted, the poor man had ALS. He has since passed away. He had ALS, and the one thing he wanted to do was to change the wording of the national anthem to take out all thy sons command. I mean, really? It's been our national anthem since the early 1900s, late 1800s. Can't remember how long, actually, to tell you the truth. Why do we want to change the words? All thy sons command. It doesn't, you don't take things so literally. I mean, really, people? Ugh. Anyway, so this is PC or not PC, politically correct. That is the question. These were leaves that I colored in my Canadian, the first Canadian coloring book that I bought. So I colored them first in the coloring book, then I cut them out and I transferred them. So those are transfers. I colored them with Prismas, and the Prismacolor transferred to the page. And this was a transfer and a bit of a transfer there and there. Somehow pages stuck together, and oh yeah, I don't like the white. That's why I skipped this one. I did this one on the white. Because I wanted the white background, but I wasn't a fan of the white paper. This is the old one that had the two kinds of paper. The paper's not really nearly as good as the newer one. So this was my cousin's son who got married last June. So this is a page I did from their wedding. So the wedding ceremony was in traditional Canadian, she had a beautiful wedding gown. He had his tux. But then when they came back for the came back after pictures for the meals. They had traditional Korean attire. That they had gone to Korea the year before on a big trip and bought their clothes over there. So they are traditionally had them made to fit and everything. She was actually born in North Korea. They escaped to South Korea and then immigrated to Prince Edward Island. And this was, I took this picture, the trellis where they got married. They got married in this very old building on Dalhousie's, on the university campus, the Dalhousie Club. And it had this beautiful window that was gold glass, gold leaded glass. And so they had the trellis right under this window, and it was amazing because the sun, right at the time of the wedding, the sun was shining right in this window, and it put a golden glow over them during the ceremony. You can see the golden glow there. Oh, really, Bonnie? Cool. Hey, CB. I'm just doing a journal flip. I finished my, I did my Coptic journal, my Coptic stitch journal with my linen thread, and it's all finished. So we have a lot of new people in the group that haven't seen any of my pages. This page I like. I think it's cool. Just keep swimming. Love finding Nemo and finding Dory. So this is, it's not Dory, but it's an image I found online, and I colored it, and I did a transfer onto the page after I colored it. And then this is, all the white is texture paste that I did through stencils. Hey, Carrie Ann. Oh, I bet, CB. Hey, Grammy. I don't know if I said hi to you when you came in either. Oh, I can't remember. It's been a long afternoon. I'm getting hungry, so, but I just have a few more pages to show. This is a pretty page. This is a napkin, 2 napkins here. The flowers are all napkins. The quote kind of goes through here. It says, "You belong among the wildflowers. You belong somewhere you feel free." That's from a song. I can't even remember the song that it's from. This was for the Olympics in Brazil. This background is part of some of the artwork that was on display at all the different venues. This is the torch. And of course a map of South America. Brazil's right there. And that's a really ugly, disgusting page. Ugh. Ooh. Uh-oh, I don't know why. I'm usually good about making sure everything is... It's on here that's making it stick. It stuck together. Ooh. I'll have to glue that down. Just a minute. I need my glue stick here. No, I'll do that later. Faces. These are my face stencils. My song. This was the page I did for my song called Faces. This I use those alpha and I did do a recording of my song. I don't know if I put it up on my YouTube or not. But I don't plan on finishing this book because I got one of the newer versions and I like the paper a lot better, so I don't plan on finishing this journal. I think I've only done a couple pages in this one because I've gotten all caught up on watercolors, so I kind of put art journaling to the side for a while. Hi, Steffi! I'm just finishing up here, showing my this puffy paint likes to stick. I may have to put a autumn paints in colors summer has never seen. So once again, this was colored from a coloring book and transferred onto the page. Then I kind of made it look like a window. We must see that peace represents a sweeter music, a cosmic melody that is far superior to the discords of war. Martin Luther King. That was Martin Luther King Day. This is one of my stencils that I designed. So it says, the point of the journey is not to arrive. From a song called Prime Mover by Rush. Hi, Debbie. Debbie, are you wanting to stream? Because I'm just finishing up showing that, yeah, that's all I've done so far in this journal. So I knew I only did a couple of pages. I didn't put any varnish on this yet. I guess I need to put some varnish on the cover. And then I have a journal with black paper in it. Going delusional. That's Delusions paint, but so this is Delusions paint on black. Delusions paint on black. I was just testing out some stuff. This was doing Paula's black gesso technique, but without the black gesso, so doing it just right off black cardstock. Oh, you going to the movies? What are you going to go see, Debbie? I need to call my BFF. Then I did some white doodling. Space Odyssey, I did this in memory of David Bowie. Yay, Debbie. Girls' night out. That's fun. And then here I was just testing my Neocolor 2s on black to see how they worked on black. So that's just a testing pages. So this is the 110-pound black cardstock from Michaels. It's really nice, heavy cardstock. So, oh yeah, this is my Life Book 2015. Ha! Just a second. Gotta put some of these, start putting some of these back, or I'm going to run out of space. So I've only done a couple of lessons from Lifebook. I have some hot press, I have some cold press, and then I have some rough. But I don't think it's rough watercolor paper. I think it's, I don't know why I called it rough. It's just, whatever. So I've only done a couple of these lessons, but anyway, maybe someday I'll go back and do some more of them. That was my first ever Whimsy Girl. This was Lifebook 2015. Yeah, 2015. I watched all the videos. I just didn't do all the lessons. I really enjoyed watching all the videos. This was the second lesson. Some feathers. I liked this one. This was the... Oh, who's the one, Joanne, that does the... handwriting stuff. And the Poppy Pod. And then, see, this is the original. This is the original lesson that I based the Spring Flowers lesson on. This was the original lesson. Which I think turned out really cool. Yes, thank you, Joanne Sharp. Oh, yeah. This one was the Joanne Sharp lesson. So I have to go back and do some more of those lessons someday. I've got all the videos, so I downloaded all the videos. My Wonderlust, I think I only did one of those lessons too, but I loved all the videos. I like the videos in Wonderlust more than... Yeah, thanks, CB. I will. I'll go back and do more of them. I wanted to stick with the watercolor for a while to make sure I got comfortable with my watercolor techniques and stuff like that. So anyway, thank you everyone for coming. I'm going to go get something to eat. I think I have some chicken and potato leftovers in the fridge. So that is what I will be having for supper. So thank you if you watched the recording of my flip. Thanks for watching. See you later.